Mr. Vice President, we draw this Council's attention to Jammu and Kashmir, India, where a gruesome terror attack in April 2025 was a blatant assault on human rights of the people in the region. These attacks are clearly violation of international human rights and humanitarian law. Civilians were targeted simply for exercising their right to travel, their freedom to movement, and the freedom of religion. These are not isolated events. They are part of a pattern of targeted violence meant to destabilize peace, divide communities, and suppress basic freedom. We urge international communities to act against the infrastructure that supports terrorism, cross-border financing of armed groups, foreign training camps and safe sanctuaries, the ideological and logical supports that keeps them alive. The network must be dismantled completely. No terror group should have safe havens, media platforms, or political coverage. Human rights cannot exist side by side with the organized terror. The Council must stand strong. We call upon all members of state to work together, investigate, expose and sanction both attackers and those who support them. Remaining silent or indifferent will only embolden further violence. The society of Jammu and Kashmir has always been secular, inclusive. These attacks are meant to break the spirit of spreading fear in a region that is moving forward on a path of transformation. The people of India deserve to live without fear, free from extreme violence. The right to peace, dignity and security must be protected. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
While reaffirming our commitment to the universality, interrelatedness and indivisibility of all human rights, we remain concerned at the selectivity that overshadows the work of the Council. A balanced and impartial approach to all human rights remains the cornerstone to advance the work of the Council in an effective manner. The continued proliferation and extension of country-specific mandates, focused primarily on countries from the developing world, raises questions about the constructive spirit needed to build bridges and reduce polarization, especially at a time of such liquidity crisis. People living under foreign occupation continue to face some of the worst human rights violations. Their plight and sufferings must not be ignored. Political expedience and selectivity are counterproductive. We reiterate that the continued denial of all human rights of the Palestinian people, especially their right to self-determination, has resulted in the current heinous situation. Mr. Vice President, the Council must also pay more attention to the situation in the IIOJ and K, as the continued gross violations and denial of the Kashmiris' rights, including right to self-determination, carry broader risks for the region.
That the Council must remain universal, objective and non-selective in its approach. Our collective efforts should foster unity and constructive engagement, not division. We are concerned by the continued proliferation of country-specific mandates. Far from advancing the Council's core mandate, they reinforce perceptions of bias and selectivity. Focusing narrowly on the human rights situation in a few countries distracts us from the urgent and shared challenges the world faces. We firmly believe that lasting progress can only be achieved through dialogue, cooperation and capacity building, always with the consent of the state concerned. At a time when the world is struggling with multiple crises, the Council's work should be channelized into forging consensus through a non-politicized and forward-looking approach. Mr. Vice President, a delegation that epitomizes the antithesis of this approach continues to abuse this forum with baseless and provocative statements against India. Instead of coveting our territory, they would do well to vacate the Indian territory under the illegal occupation and focus on rescuing an economy on life support, a polity muzzled by military dominance, and a human rights record stained by persecution. Perhaps once they find time away from exporting terrorism, harboring UN-proscribed terrorists, and bombing their own people.